Hello friends, in this video I will show you how to create login activity in Sketchware using Firebase authentication. Let's start. Here first we have to go to the Firebase console and click on authentication. In authentication we have to go to sign in method. In the sign in method we have to enable the email or password option and save this. Then enable anonymous option and save this. Rest of the things are not enabled in Sketchware, so you cannot use them. So let them all be disabled. Then go to project settings, and from the project settings we have to copy the project ID which is here. Then we have to copy the web API key, and then we have to copy the app ID. After copying the project ID, app ID and web API key, we have to paste these things in Sketchware. Here you can see the app ID. Now let's go to Sketchware. In Sketchware we have to go to library manager, and in library manager go to Firebase settings and paste the project ID, app ID and Firebase API key. After save this and switch on this. Now on the main page I have created this chat activity in which we can send messages which are displayed in a list view, and then I have a second page which is login.xml. You can make it opposite also, where the login page will be on main.xml and chatting application or chatting page will be on the second page. So here I have this main page which contains the chat page, and when user enters he is first taken to this main page. On this main page I have this block file user set data key page value main. So what this file key page does is it identifies this page as main, and then it checks if the user is logged in or not. For doing that I have used this block. If Firebase Auth is logged in, then do nothing, else if it is not logged in, then use intent I to take the user to login activity. For that we have to add this Firebase Auth here, which is test login, and I have used this same, we have to use this same Firebase Auth in the login page also. Another thing is this file user, this file we have to use this same file share preferences user on the login page also. Now let's move to login page. In login.xml I have these 4 linears. You can make it small if you want, but here I prefer doing this. I have this linear with name loading linear. I have changed the ID here, so that's why it is loading linear, otherwise it can be linear 1, linear 2 or something like that. This is linear 3 which contains a sign in button which is button 2 and a button 3. Now this third linear is a linear vertical. It is login linear. I have changed this here login linear, and inside this I have edit text 3, edit text 4 and a login button. Then inside register linear I have this edit text 6, edit text 7, edit text 6, edit text 5 and edit text 7. This edit text 7 is for nickname, 6 is for email and 5 is for password. And after that I have this button called register button. Now let's move to logic. In the logic area I have added this same file component user which I added in main activity. Then I have this same Firebase auth component test login. It was same in main activity. And then I have this Firebase DB called user ID. It is different from what I used in main activity. In main activity the Firebase DB I used is chat, but here the Firebase DB I used is user ID. Now let's go to onCreate. In onCreate I have made the loading linear visible and all other linears gone, and I have set the user key page to login. So this will identify this page as login, and it means that user is non-login page. Now after this, I have on button 2 click, which is for sign in, I have made login linear visible and register linear gone, plus I have made button 2 red and button 3 gray. So this means that when I click this button, this will be converted to red, this will be converted to gray, and this will be visible, this will be invisible. On button 3, I have done the opposite. I have made button 2 gray, login linear gone, button 3 visible, and button 3 red and register linear visible. Then after this, let's go to sign up, which is register activity. This is register linear and the button is register button. So we will first go to register button. When the register button is pressed, if any of the text views is empty, like if text view 5 or text view 6 is empty, we can put this text view 7 empty in the same block, but I prefer to place it here. So if text view 5 or 6 is empty, it will display email or password cannot be empty. If after that, if text view 7 is empty, then it will show nickname cannot be empty. So all the 3 edit text fields have to be filled. After this, if all the 3 are filled, then in the else block, I have used this block Firebase Auth test login create user with email edit text 6 and password edit text 5. So here edit text 6 contains email, this is edit text 6, and edit text 5 contains password. So this will create a new username, a new user with the email in edit text 6 and password in edit text 5, and it will send that to the database, and at the same time it will make the loading linear visible and rest all linears gone. So this means that this linear will be visible and rest all will be gone, like all this linear 3 login linear and rest linear will be gone. So when we press this, only loading will be visible, and then it will send the details of email and password to the database. So that's all in register button. After this, I have added this block Firebase Auth test login on create user complete. So once it is sent to the database, I have used this block loading linear gone and linear 3 visible. So this will make this will be invisible and this will be visible after that. And then I have used this block if success. So if the registration is successful, then it will show a message that registration is successful. And then I have created this map variable here, and in this map variable I have used this block create new map and then put key UID, and I have used put key nickname. So I have created this new keys UID and nickname. In the UID I have added this block Firebase get UID. So once the registration is successful, we can get the user ID using this block Firebase Auth get UID. So it will save that, it will get that UID and save it in this key, save it with key UID, plus it will get text from edit text 7 and save it as key nickname. Then it will push this map variable, which is this map variable, to the database, which is user ID. So that means it will send the user ID of the person as well as the nickname of the person to the database once the registration is successful, and then it will clear this map variable. Now if the registration is not successful, then it will toast the error message and make the login linear gone and register linear visible. So we can do this even without these blocks. So this means it will make this register linear visible and this login linear gone. Even if we do not put this block, login linear gone, it will work. So if login fails, this means if login fails, the user will again go back to the register page, which is register linear. So I have made this visible and login linear is gone. Now once we have sent or pushed some data to the database, suppose the registration was successful and we pushed some data to the database, then it will go to the database and on child added, once it is added to the database, this block will be executed. Here on Firebase on child added, I use this block Firebase db get children to list map1. So that will get all the details from the database to list map. For this we have to create a new list map1. I've also created this list string called UID. Now once we have received data from the database to list map1, we will have a list of all the UID and all the nicknames in list map1. Now from this, once we have got all the data, we will make the login linear visible and register linear gone. So this means that once the registration is complete and we have received the nickname from the database, we will make this login linear visible and this register linear gone and the other two this linear gone, this linear visible. So that's what it does. After this, I've used this block clear the string list UID and then I've added this number variable n, and for the length of list map I have added all the UID get value at n key UID of list map1. So it will get for all positions of list map, it will get the UID and add it to the string list UID. So we will have all the UID in this string list UID. Now after this, let's move to login page. On login page, when the user clicks this login button, if edit text 3 and 4 are empty, it will toast a message, and if it is not empty, it will sign in the user with the email in edit text 3 and password in edit text 4. Plus it will make the loading linear visible and all other linears gone. So this means if user clicks here and these two are empty, it will toast a message. If these two are not empty, then it will make loading linear visible and rest all gone. Plus it will register the user. So that's all in login linear. After this, I've used this block Firebase Auth test login complete. So if the registration is complete, then we have to use this block if success. If the sign in is successful, then it will toast login successful and it will find the position at which his UID is in the list string, and at that position it will get the nickname and save it in file user with key nickname. After that it will finish this activity, and if the login is not successful, then it will toast the error message and make the login linear visible and register linear gone. So that means user will have to log in again. That's all here. Now if suppose the user presses the back button without registering, for that I have used this key. I have used this file user set data key f value 1 and then finish activity. So if the user presses back button without registering, this key F will be set to 1, and then he will move back to main page. On main page, on page start, I've added that if this F is 1 and if page is login page, then it will finish the activity after 200 milliseconds. So user will not see this page, main page. Now in main activity, I've added this button called sign out button, which is button 2, and on button 2 click, I've added Firebase Auth sign out, means it will sign out the person or the user, and then it will set the key nickname to empty, and then it will take the user back to login activity using this intent set screen login activity start activity intent I. So after this, now suppose user logs in this page. If sign in is successful, we have set the key from the list map 1, and here on main page, while this when this send button is clicked, when button 1 is clicked, the same key user file user key nickname is sent to the database using key name. So that in that way it will be displayed in the message. So I hope this was useful for you. Let's check this once. Here when I click on sign out, it will take me to the sign in activity. Now I can either sign in or sign up. So when I sign in, it will show loading first, and when sign in is complete, it will take me to this chat page on main page, and if I write something and send, it will show my nickname which I initially used for registration. So I hope this was useful for you. Thank you very much for watching this.